Welcome to WrestleCulture. Nice, Phil. Subtle. No one saw that.
It's like a little eel.
There he is. With Andy Murray. Whoa, look at this, Phil Chambers.
Who did you think it was? Ewan.
Right. Got it going like halfway through the song, so I'm not doing the whole thing.
Okay.
Your debut was golden, then all your stars got stolen. Now Shockwave has been chosen. Where'd you think you're going, baby? Hey, it was fun and the first dance was crazy, but your time is up, no Rampage, baby. Rather than watch you, I'd just drink gravy. So for the last time, this Rampage, baby. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WrestleCulture, joined by Phil James and Andy Murray from WrestleCulture to discuss all the goings on in wrestling this week. But before we get into it...
In memory of AEW Rampage.
Indeed.
Rest in peace. Pour one out.
R.I.P. in
right
peace.
now.
A lot more came out of that ball than I was anticipating.
Let's pour one out, mate. It's Rampage. You gotta show respect.
Before we get into that, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe
Ball's wet now.
WrestleCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcast, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube.
It's on the TV.
And YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts, we review Raw, SmackDown, the show formerly known as NXT 2Play. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, not AEW Rampage. We're on pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a round of the week, complete with a bloody good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture.
Go on this podcast.
I am completely lost. I did not know what to do at any stage of that. Yeah. Oh, we might die if the water creeps into those wires.
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, boy.
This is nice to have you on. It's not very rare that we get you on.
I think this is actually the first time I've been on the podcast channel altogether. So you might as well start it off by flooding the place.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they're not going to let me back in here.
Hi to everyone in the chat. Thank you, as always, for your comments and your donations. Matt Rains says, from Dr. Fed to Dr. Murray.
Yes. Well, I'm
newly qualified.
I'm a shoot doctor. Yeah. He's a fake doctor. I've got a certificate and everything. I graduated with a merit from doctoring.
Genuine congratulations
you look like a
on
football
that.
coach today.
Thanks. Yeah, thanks. This is £7, classicfootballshirts.com. So, if you're looking for a tracksuit top that's £7, that's the place to go. Yeah, it's good.
So, RIP AEW Rampage.
Yeah.
It looks like it's going the way of the dodo, unfortunately. Not watched.
Maybe forgotten.
Oh, sorry.
Spiritually, it was gone a long time ago. Let's let's not mess around.
Because it was like...
Give us a moment.
You did a live
One whole
stream.
moment.
Second ever Rampage, was it? Early
That's
days.
Right. That's right. The second ever word on that was a swear word as well. So we probably got demonetized very, very quickly, thanks to a production botch, shall we say. We did a live stream for an episode of Rampage. Can you imagine saying that sentence in 2024?
No.
We're going.
You did the Punk debut one as well?
It was. No, wait a minute.
No. We did the first episode, and then we've done 2 streams.
Oh,
My goodness. It was definitely the Punk one.
Yeah, you
that started with a swear word.
SummerSlam weekend, wasn't it? You did.
That's right.
Was it me and you doing that? And he came and joined us as well.
Oh, yeah. He was like, I'm so tired.
It was kind of perfect, though, because you two were... Oh, sorry, I've destroyed your laptop.
That's all right.
As well as the studio today, 2 minutes in. It was kind of perfect, though, because you guys were sitting either side of me, and you're very lively and animated. So whenever I started dozing off, one of you just had to go bonk.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Oh, look. Oh, well, what? So what would that have been? SummerSlam 2019 must have been. 2020?
2020.
No, it must have been 2021.
2021. Yeah, it was in. It was
What am I
in
thinking
this,
about 2019?
this cavernous abyss of a place.
Let's have a look at the card. Let's see what you had to...
What was it? I assume Roman Reigns in the main event. I don't know what he was
John
against.
Cena.
John Cena.
That wasn't. That was all right, wasn't it?
11 match card.
Oof. That was the dark ages. That
Oh, the
really was.
turnstable.
Alexa Bliss versus Eva Marie was on
Classic.
this card.
Classic.
Oh, some good stuff. Becky versus Bianca. Drew versus Jinder. Veer and Shanky barred from ringside. Oh, Becky versus Bianca was the 26-second one.
That was
wasn't that good, actually.
Okay, maybe not so
That was three-man band lore, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. Bloody Jinder.
Charlotte Flair took the title off Nikki ASH.
Legend. Great run.
Nope.
Always loved it.
Bobby
She was
Lash-
awful.
Bobby
The
Lashley.
worst.
Bobby Lashley.
Never forgive. Never forget.
But apologise and explain if you're WWE.
Bobby Lashley beat Goldberg. And in the main event, it was Roman Reigns versus John Cena. Had Reigns lost, he'd have left WWE.
Was that the very funny Goldberg-Lashley match with his kid knocking about?
Well, it says referee stoppage, so it might have been.
Or was that
The Saudi show where he was like, well, I'm getting the win by very much.
I think that was the one with his kid, where it was like
Parading
Gage
his
Goldberg.
tiny kid around.
Yeah. Oh, did Bob Lashley beat the crap out of Baby Goldberg in this?
Maybe.
One? Can't even remember.
Don't know.
Can't even remember. Great stuff.
3 years ago.
Vintage.
Much for me.
Yeah, I can't remember 3
Yesterday
minutes
was too
ago.
much ago, yeah.
What's the show called again?
But yeah,
Where are we?
when was the last time you watched an entire episode of Rampage? I fell off very quickly when I didn't have to watch it for work
As
anymore.
soon as we stopped doing ups and downs for Rampage,
Yeah.
was the last episode of Rampage I ever watched.
I've watched like little matches here and there.
Yeah.
Like whenever a match
Yeah.
graphic has popped up and it's been like something really cool and fun.
Yeah,
like,
but I've never watched a whole episode since
nah,
then.
I don't think I've watched a whole episode since then either, because like they just they didn't put anything on it. It was like Thunder. It was WCW Thunder. Like you'd get the occasional good match. Sometimes Punk would show up, do a promo early on or whatever. But like for the most part, it was like, here's a bunch of squashes and maybe like one competitive multi-person tag. And they kind of gave up on it as like a must-see appointment viewing not long after Mr. Phil Brooks turned up.
Thank you to Matt Rains, who says, Happy Friday, brothers. Hope you all have an amazing weekend. Wilbourn, seeing as it will no longer be around shortly, how about one last Rampage wrap next week? Legends Land's coming soon. Stay tuned. I will keep an eye out for that one. Yeah, I forgot about the Rampage wrap. It's fresh every week. John Harrison says, Andy's here. I will do one more Rampage rap. Remind me next week, Matt, for that. John Harrison says,
well.
Andy's here. Great stuff. Also, Rampage is wank.
See, John Harrison's not in the chair. He doesn't need to be diplomatic.
It was
just
not,
call it wank.
It was not appointment viewing, certainly in the last couple of years, I think it's fair to say.
It was mostly pish.
The moment Collision came along, it was not.
Can you imagine as well being
It's like that Simpsons meme of the cutest sheep. Get this one out.
Yeah.
Well, imagine being American and chilling. It's 10 p.m. on a Friday night, and up pops a match graphic, and it's something like Mel will be in action.
Yeah.
It's just, it doesn't. No disrespect to Mel, one of the best theme songs ever. If you know, you know. But yeah, it's rubbish.
What isn't rubbish, though, is the new Dream Team on Friday Night SmackDown. Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes.
Together at last.
What? I mean, when you're hot, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I didn't quite expect them to get to them. Well, they're not exactly buddies, let's say, but get to this so quickly after Roman's return. I thought they'd drag this out a little bit longer before Cody and Roman were like sat there signing checks together. But no, looking forward to this match. Obviously, it's going to end up in some kind of bloodline War Games thing, but we're already getting the teams together, I guess, with Cody and Roman.
I liked Solo in the R-Way at the end of last week's SmackDown yelling, you don't even like him.
That's kind of a perfect moment for his character, isn't he? He's like the goober who accidentally became the boss. Actually, that's my life story in a lot of ways.
Yeah, it is sort of a teaser, isn't it? This team up ahead of, one would assume, War Games. Hikuleo, we talked about potentially joining WWE very soon.
Yeah.
That leads us to think 5 members of the Survivor Series team. Maybe Cody helps out Roman Reigns yet again.
Big dumb match.
Oh boy.
That's going to be so stupid. It's going to have so much talking in it.
Yeah.
So much talking. It's going to be
Kevin Owens
awesome.
is going to be in it doing something dumb,
Oh
you
my
imagine.
God.
Yeah.
He's going to hurt his back. Yeah, he never does
The
that.
Rock
but
might
he-
show up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, you've got to start building to The Rock winning the title right now, haven't you? So you might as well.
He deserves it.
Why? He's earned it.
And also, as Matt Rains points out in the chat, interesting that they announce Rampage is gone. Rampage, or it's revealed.
Probably.
Anyway. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's probably on its way out.
Yep.
And SmackDown goes, another hour, thank you very much. Matt points out.
Oh, yeah. They were really hindered by Rampage existing at 10 p.m. They were worried about those numbers, brother.
They did lose the Friday Night War once, didn't they?
The bunny
Yeah.
kicked
the
Roman Reigns' ass in the demo. Good stuff.
It was funny that. It was on FS1 or something. They like, we see our chance.
Yeah, that was the night.
This is it.
Was that the same week that Tony decided to be a little freak and did a YouTube pre-show with like Danielson versus Suzuki on it?
That was
You're
it.
like, okay, boss, okay. I miss it when he did that. I miss that era of Tony Khan just doing petty little things. Let's bring it back.
So am I right in thinking, me and Hamlet talked about this earlier, so obviously we get the rest of this year, after the start of October, we get 2-hour SmackDown, 2-hour NXT, 2-hour Raw.
Yeah.
And then in January, you get 2-hour NXT, at least for the time being, 3-hour Raw, 3-hour SmackDown.
Plus 3 AEW shows, I assume, by then, because they're replacing Rampage with something else.
Shockwave.
Yeah. So there'll be Dynamite, Collision, Shockwave, plus Ring of Honor, I guess.
When's Shockwave going to be? Oh, Fridays, no? Wait.
know.
They haven't said. They haven't said.
Not said anything.
Fridays would be mental, wouldn't it?
Fridays would be mental.
Because like the Rampage time slot is garbage. No one's watching TV at 10 p.m. on Friday night.
Yeah, no one's not watching Rampage because it's Rampage.
Thursday.
They're watching because it's Friday, not watching because it's Friday night. Thursday, yeah.
Thursday might be like because like Sunday they won't do Sunday because Tony has said so many times he doesn't want to go against football. Is there football on a Thursday? I don't know.
Don't know.
But they'd be
Seems
going
all
against
the time.
Yeah, they'd be going against TNA, and like I know a lot of people like to pretend that TNA is overtake. No, don't be silly.
Do you know anything about it? Is it going to be live on its own, or is it going to be taped?
No idea about nothing, baby.
Didn't think we knew anything yet.
Yeah.
You think they'd maybe that doesn't work actually with the timings unless you tape Collision. Unless you tape Collision or you tape Shockwave 4 days in advance.
Spoil it.
And after you'd have to do stuff that would lead on after. It's like when we used to do the
Tuesday,
WCPW
Collision
shows out of
Saturdays?
order.
Yeah.
We were like, can't believe what happened on the pay-per-view that's in chronological order this Sunday.
Announcing to the crowd that something's happened next week, but it's like later. Oh no, it's actually tonight. Like just stick around. It's
don't go
like 1
anywhere.
hour.
Have you ever seen the I think it's the Fantasy Booker series of Kevin Nash explaining how WCW booked Thunder, like pre-taping it 2 weeks before the pay-per-view, but Nitros are still live. Honestly, he's got this diagram on this board, and it just looks like Charlie Day.
Yeah.
Conspiracy things. It's an absolute nightmare, but it's very funny. So I'd look it up.
Always funny those, isn't it, where someone gets like either busted open or a real shiner.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's magically disappeared on next week's television. You seem to be hobbling a lot less than you were on Sunday night or
they
whatever.
botched the makeup job, and suddenly the shiner's on the other eye.
Yeah.
Like,
Is a third hour of SmackDown something that excites you, Andy Murray?
No. Like I don't want a third hour of shows I love, and I kind of like SmackDown at the moment. I don't love it. It's just this WWE's current Raw thing is unlike any other period in history where it's a good 3 hour show every single week that people are into. This is what's the word you look for? An anomaly. This is a rupture in the space-time continuum. Space and time, if you phone them up right now, they will both tell you that 3 hours is too long for a professional wrestling show. Also, like, I have to, like, woe is me, right? Woe is me. I have to watch wrestling for a living. I'm so hard done by. But I have to watch this on a Saturday, and I don't want to. I'll have to. And I'll just deal with it and not moan. But
That's the first thing I do when I wake up on a Saturday. To be honest. I love SmackDown right
baby's
now.
crying in the corner.
Yeah, Eric,
3 hours, mate.
sit down and watch. Your wrestling lessons begin now. It is funny when like he'll crawl over sometimes and try and look over my shoulder. I'm like, don't watch it.
Not is it? I am not excited about it, but mainly because I work Saturdays. I work Tuesday to Saturday, so I can do the edit for ups and downs, obviously, and it's gonna make my edit for ups and downs longer, so my Saturday's gonna be longer.
Half an hour ups and downs though for Simon Miller on a Saturday. That's
Yeah.
I know,
cash
right?
money.
I was just thinking we could probably get 2 or 3 more mid-rolls in there, baby. Daddy's eating.
Speaking of which, Mr. Phoenix says, also in the month of October, we have 2 road NXTs, Bad Blood, Halloween, and Bound for Glory. I think the kids call that eating good, indeed.
My birthday's in October too, so there you go.
Sidgwick's birthday on Sunday.
It is. I had a funny present I was going to get him, but I forgot. So sorry, Big Mike. I'll give him a nice job to do on Monday.
You can just tell him about what you were gonna get him.
Yeah.
That can be his present.
Yeah,
I do know someone once, a friend of mine, who I don't speak to as much, and this possibly might be the reason why. I do remember him being so tight he once took a picture of a birthday card. Like just sent in a message, happy birthday, here's the card I would have got you.
Nico, he's not destroying the trees.
Good point. Good point.
could go to Costco and get him like a pallet of beans. Should we do that?
Honestly, the What Culture Costco trip is long overdue.
Oh, get a pizza, baby. Oh my God, Costco pizza is unbelievable. It's like it's unfathomably good for £2. I don't understand why it is so high quality, but it's the best restaurant in the world. Costco is what I'm saying.
I don't think I've ever been in a Costco.
I don't think I've eaten lots of stuff from it. I don't think I've ever been in.
we're
What's
going.
it like? Is it like is it as big as I'm picturing?
Yeah, it's just a massive open ware. Have you ever been to like a Macro or any other cash and carry before?
I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like a
Mazatlan
warehouse.
was that one once upon a time, or was that something else?
That's a clothes shop.
Maybe it's something else. There's something else I'm thinking about.
It's similar for that. You need to be. I think you need to be a member of. I'm not sure, but it's like half of it is like floor to ceiling stacked. Jeff, and then in the middle you've got like all your electronics, and you've got fresh food, and you've got the little food counter, which is where you get the delicious treats from.
A day there. Sounds
Honestly,
amazing.
the problem with Costco is that nothing comes for just 2 people or 1 person. It's like if you want to get some Pepsi Max, you're buying 24 cans, brother. And somehow it's £6. It's incredible. But I don't ever want to be like, I don't want to go as deep as the guys with the weird eyebrows. What AJ and Justice or whatever.
Oh yeah.
The TikTok people. I don't want to be them, but I'm a full advocate of Costco. We'll go. Let's go.
Let's go.
We'll take the
work
floor
trip.
Yeah. Why not?
Steve Nicholas says, "I've given up, Steve. I'm so sorry." Yeah, look.
Where is he? Steve Nicolakopoulos.
I think that's what I use. Is that what I used to say?
No, you said Nicola. I can't even remember what you used to say now.
I said it was a bit like
Nicolakopoulos?
Giannakopoulos.
Stelios.
Yeah, off of Bolton from all the years.
Bald
ago.
legend.
But anyway, Steve, the forward Edward Shiraz, of course, says, "G'day,
okay.
fellow children. Ohio Riz, am I right? What is your favourite, very much outdated pop culture reference in wrestling? These references be bussin', yo." They are. It's often so late. Like I saw the Liv Morgan does the Hawk Tour meme. Again, it was
Yeah.
like, "Yep, that was about 2
Missed
months ago,
the
guys."
boat
Yeah.
Slightly.
They never.
I don't know if I've noticed one recently.
They're
Vince
trying
used to
less
do them
hard,
all the time. He
Yeah.
was so out of touch by the time
Yeah.
something actually got around to him.
Remember when he did Grumpy Cat hosting Raw about 5 years after? I'm sure the cat was already dead by that point.
Yeah.
Probably a new
Just
cat.
put it out there.
Yeah, get a hold
Stuff
of
it,
him.
put it out there.
Yeah.
Move its mouth a bit.
Yeah, poke it. Do you remember, was it the I think it was the Marvel Endgame trailer where they did a "what are those?" And it was like, that's from 2010. What are you doing? Like,
Yeah, Marvel have been bad about this. Wasn't there one in the Thor film where it's like, our intergalactic thing is powered by screaming goats? And I was like, what year is it? What are we doing here?
I'm surprised they got to the Hawk Tour so early in
Yeah.
WWE, actually. You'd think that they would save that for next year, but yeah.
It's often that they go like, this is a topical thing.
Yeah.
It was 6 months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm dread to think what they do next.
I've got a terrible memory for stuff like this. I can't think of anything.
I'll
else that's
Google some
happened.
pop culture references in wrestling. Let's see if we can find some classics whilst I ask you David Esposito's question. Thank you, David. Happy Friday, fellas. Happy Friday to you, Dave. Has AEW figured out the veteran wrestler aging gracefully story arc? Sting, Jarrett, Dustin, they seem to have a knack.
Jericho. Jericho.
I think that's a Jericho problem more than anything else. Although I did see a very, very funny... I don't know if I can even repeat this. I saw it. I will. Somebody... A popular Twitter user who you may or may not interact with, I'll tell you boys afterwards. Somebody tweeted him saying, "Why is Jericho on TV so often these days?" And he quote tweeted it saying, "It's an election year and Chris Jericho's wife is very hard to live with." Make of that what you will, but she does celebrate January 6th, going by her feed. They do really well with it, though. Like when it's not Jericho, right? Like,
Yeah, when it's not Jericho, they do it real goddamn well. I think Sting is the absolute gold standard that you
Yes.
can put, that any promotion anywhere in the world ever from this point on should look towards to try and do when they're trying to do this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It was absolutely incredible, and they used him so well for so long and got so much out of him as well
yeah.
at the same time. It's insane.
Dustin's godly as well. They can just pull him in whenever. Hey, Dustin, we need that old guy to put up a fight and lose. Okay.
We need someone to bleed a lot. Okay.
Yeah. Guess I'm doing it.
Come.
Red dust coming through. Yeah, he rules. They're really good at it. I hope they do. I hope they're able to use that same Sting magic for whenever Jarrett decides he wants to retire.
So,
because
maybe a tease of that on Dynamite as well. I'm going to kick your ass if it's the last thing I do,
Yeah.
he said.
him and Paige is gonna rock.
Yeah.
I can't believe people were upset about that at one point. I was like, "What are you talking about? Jeff Jarrett
Going to
rocks."
bleed on those beautiful blonde locks of his, and Michael Hamlet's going to cry.
This isn't TNE 2006. It's 2024. Jeff Jarrett evolved.
Oh, Snooki. Remember Snooki at WrestleMania?
Yeah. Yeah, like 5 years after Jersey Shore was popular.
Pee Wee Herman in 2010 was a
Pee-wee
bold
Herman
strategy
was
as well. Hi to Brian, he of the SmackDown Photoshop. He's very happy to have Andy on WrestleCulture this
Thank
week.
you.
And Mark Lee Willis says, Adam, as you have family in Birmingham, any plain food like ham-foot places around New Street you'd recommend? I need something for after Villa versus Bayern. It's still a wild thing that Villa are playing teams like Bayern.
It's absurd. It's completely absurd.
Yeah, there's 5 guys in the station, as Jules has pointed out. There's some nice food spots in New Street. They've really done it up.
Ones. He wants plain ones.
Plain ones, yeah.
Yeah, just go and get a Just Cheese from Tesco or something, I suppose.
I feel like plain
Hamlet.
food might just be a franchise that Hamlet could go to whenever he puts the microphone down.
Yeah.
Everything is beige.
Yeah.
Literally, even the burger.
Everything is beige. Everything is dry. No condiments allowed.
He's talking about his love of Dairy Lunchables on the SmackDown preview earlier.
He is.
Mr. Beast and...
That's what we were talking about, yeah.
We were talking about that in the news today as well.
Logan Paul.
Of all things.
Infiltrate our content.
It's ridiculous. Hamlet is the only guy who would go to Five Guys where the gimmick is there's 90 things you can have and have none of them. Most likely. Bless him. I have a reckoning every single day because I love Michael Hamlet, but everyone in life has 2 or 3 things that for no reason, in ways they don't impact them at all. So there's no reason, but you absolutely hate. One of mine is picky eaters. And every morning I have to come in and have a reckoning because it's like, oh, you are the only good one. You are the only good one.
Yeah.
Because 99% of the time, just grow up if you're an adult. Just grow up. Try things. But I'll take the plain food.
You should speak to my girlfriend. Oh my God. She is a vegetarian who does not like vegetables.
So she's a Tyrion.
She doesn't like carrots and broccoli and cauliflower and like sprouts and parsnips and cabbage and no, she's gotten okay with mushrooms lately. There's like an insane list of things like cucumber, loads and loads and loads and loads. It's so hard to go out there. Like,
Fair enough.
Like she looks at a menu and she's like, "But what are they hiding in it? Like, that's the ingredients, but what are the real ingredients?" So stupid.
Love it.
Love you though, man.
Tactical Penguins got in touch, thank you, as always, saying, afternoon, lads. With the Lucha Bros skipping NXT, do you think they'll let Penta keep his pile driver finisher or give him a new one?
I think they'll probably give him a new one, right? Like, occasionally you see these crazy big moves popped out on WWE programming, but it's usually just saved for a big moment or whatever. I don't think they'll...
He didn't let Kevin Owens use it, did he? Because he used to use it.
That's right. He used to package pile drive everybody. Was the gimmick. He doesn't use the Steelizer either, which is definitely...
yeah, that's fair, I think.
Definitely for the best, yeah. Probably give him something new, right? Like the Cerro Miedo move. I don't know.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, they call it Zero Fear or something, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
No fear.
Give him a clothesline or some bollocks. Good question to OG Stem Cell, considering you got the 2 of you on. Far better than me answering this question. OG Stem Cell says, I recently got a promotion at work. Congratulations
Hey, good job.
to the beer lead. Any suggestions on beers I should try and bring in?
Beer lead. Ooh.
lead.
So it must be like, sourcing appropriate beers to maybe put on tap or something.
That's good. Maybe working at a pub.
What you been drinking recently?
I thought you didn't want to talk it just because it was about promotions.
But
Inside baseball.
what beer have you been? You're a cultured man.
I've got a terrible memory for things that I actually like. I try
sort of
loads and loads
describe
and
the
loads of
cans,
different
don't
things.
you?
Yeah, and then if I see the can, I'll remember it. Like I've been really into Daya stuff recently, but then I can't remember the names of the actual beers at all. I'm really bad at it.
I'm very similar, so I'm going to default to my favorite brewery in Newcastle, which is Full Circle Brewery.
Circle's great.
They should be distributed more places. It's great. They should be distributed more places nationally because their beer is absolutely great. I prefer it to Wylam, which is the famous brewery up here.
Yeah.
So, like, specifically the Looper, that's my favorite.
If we're saying brewery's better than Wylam, 2x2 as well.
Boom. There you go. Eat it. I like Wylam, so I don't know why I'm shouting
I know,
at them.
Wylam's
but yeah, Full Circle Brewery, Newcastle, all of them are good. All of them. So apart from like weird, like this one is a pecan lime sour. I'm not into that kind of stuff, but if you are, it's probably good.
And John Harris in the chat says Polly's do apparently good beers.
Polly's, I've
Check
seen
that
them.
out.
I've seen them in a lovely
seen them.
shop in Newcastle called Rehills of Jesmond.
Yeah.
It's very good to get some beer.
Durag Meek says, first time making it to a live WrestleCulture, my favorite podcast of the week. So many people you shout at on the pod commenting on here. I feel like I'm surrounded by famous people. And hi to, where is it? I've just lost that now. Who's what? Game and Cast, who says, happy iPhone 16 launch day, watching while sitting at work. I remember the days when I'd think, oh, maybe I'll get the new iPhone.
Yeah.
Nowadays, is this one still working? Yes.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about upgrading, but then it's also £1,000.
Yeah, they're so expensive. Why are they so expensive?
It used to be just, give us your old phone, we'll give you a new phone.
Yeah.
That was simple, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still pay like 10 quid a month or whatever.
simple.
Yeah, now it's like, oh, you want the phone for free, do you? Yeah, well, how about paying 300 quid a month? What?
Well, I mean, not to start a culture war, but some of us who are on Androids don't have that problem.
Yeah.
So, just saying.
You got shit phones then.
I am too old now to learn a new phone.
Yeah.
I've established that.
Yeah. I get my strategy is that my renewal date is every 2 years and it's aligned with Black Friday. So I go with
Smart.
whatever top Android is available in the Black Friday sale. And it means I get a different brand every year and have to remember, new things, which is not good when you're 36 with a 96-year-old brain like I am.
All in our 30s, of course.
30s, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
No shame in it. Unless you're Hamlet.
Yeah. He's almost 40, to be fair. So
Um,
very old.
oh, wow. Adam Sargison says, if I was to get a Dadley Boys tattoo, ideas.
Oh my god.
Oh boy. Don't would
Get
be my
the
idea.
entirety of Wilbourn's opening speech, or like
On
down
your back. Yeah.
I would go from top to bottom, maybe. That's a big undertaking for your first tattoo.
Here's a question.
It's difficult. Like you could have like a selection of items for each of you, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
the pen. You could get a pen,
A
tattooed.
spoon for him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm not a spoon.
Also a cereal box or something.
Big Mike
Something
for
cereal.
me.
Big Mike.
Cereal box, yeah.
Crisp.
Here's a question. You've got a lot of tattoos. You got any tattoos, Andy?
No,
me
zero.
neither. You've got a lot of tattoos. It was kind of the thing you did over the pandemic. You just come in and
What else are you gonna do over
he's
lockdown?
doodle on his arm again. Has there ever been
Stuck at home alone. I'm gonna tattoo myself. I've never done this before.
'Cause I often revert to being my mother in terms of like, oh, look at what they've done to their arm. But I really like all of yours. Has there ever been one that you were about to do and at the last second went, no, I'm not doing that actually? Because you've got
No.
like Scott Pilgrim, right? On
Yeah,
there?
I've got a bunch of Scott Pilgrim stuff, loads of Ralph Steadman stuff, and Hunter S. Thompson,
Alien.
obviously. And there's a bunch of stuff on my leg. My leg's like a child's sketchbook, basically.
Is it easy to do your leg and your arm? Because you can just sort of like...
Yeah, and you get two hands as well. So
Good point.
And stuff.
Of course,
It's much
of
easier.
course.
But I've never done any ones myself. I've never like started or like gone like, no, I'm not actually gonna do that. But like before I started just tattooing myself, I was umming and ahhing for years about what to get and had loads of ideas. And they were like, oh, I'm gonna get that, and then no, I'm not gonna get that, and oh, I'm gonna get that, no, I'm not gonna get that. And it wasn't until the pandemic and boredom and the kind of freedom of not having to pick one idea that you then have to go spend like £300 on or something to just be able to just go, I'll just have a dog and draw a dog on myself or something. It was the freedom of that was like, it doesn't matter anymore. Now it's just a weird little sketchbook of stuff I like.
Fair enough.
Fair play to What Culture's you and Patterson as well, who's not someone I would have had pegged as a tattoo guy. And even when he was talking about getting it done, there was a little bit of me, if I'm fully honest, that thought he's not going to go through with this. And he just comes in and he's got like an armful, basically.
Yeah, he's got
more.
full tribal
Yes.
shoulder and everything. It's crazy. I didn't expect that from him, but good choices. Good
He
choices.
didn't acknowledge me.
Yeah.
Tempted? Get some
Me,
like,
no.
Roman Reigns-esque.
No, I'm always,
Traditional
I'm
stuff.
very much of the opinion of never pin your personality or associate yourself, like especially permanently, with any figure.
Yeah.
Because they will let you down.
Anyone who could get cancelled.
Yeah.
Can you imagine getting a Pantera tattoo and then, oh boy.
Yeah. I've got a couple. I've got like, well, the Hunter S. Thompson stuff is like, well, everybody knows he's an asshole. So
Yeah.
pretty safe with
There's
that.
not gonna be
If you go with known assholes,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
fine.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
into it. It's when they let you down that it's a mistake.
Yeah.
It's really strange then that Michael Hamflett got that Roman Polanski tattoo. I don't think does he have a Cribs tattoo?
He's got a
or
Cribs
something?
tattoo.
Yeah, I thought so.
Does he? I didn't know
Yeah,
that
he's
about
got
tattoos.
it on his arm, his upper arm. He can hide it.
I
It's
don't know.
smart.
He's silly. He doesn't get the guns out often, so you don't often see them.
Yeah.
I tell you where
I
he's.
used to think of hiding them, and then I was like, I just want to tattoo my hands now.
You know what he needs to do? He needs to get a tattoo on those big calves of his.
Yeah,
His
Get a
calves,
full
his
portrait on
His
there.
calves are overrated. I reckon if you were to put a tape measure around mine and his, I would smoke that boy. I'm telling you.
Okay.
It's the definition. It's not the size, it's the definition.
Well, I disagree. It's always
You're hiding.
Next week, live on the podcast, we'll have a standing jump competition. See which one of you can jump onto this desk.
I mean, that's two very unhealthy men jumping in there. You might hurt us. Do we need to sign a waiver for that?
Look, if the comments say that they want it, we'll do it.
I'm on vacation next week. Sorry.
Coward.
I've just booked it today.
Yuz Fishy Boy says, get Sidge's face when Adam and Hamlet are gooning to NXT. That'd be funny, just staring
That would
back
be
at
quite
you.
funny.
He's just like, eye roll, here we go again.
Oh boy.
I don't know what else you could have as a Dudley Boys tattoo. I desperately want him to do it though, because it'd be really funny.
You could do,
A crisp would be good.
Shout out to I can't remember his name now. The guy who got the WCPW tattoo.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't remember your name, sorry. But he got WCPW tattooed on his leg, and he came to like all the shows. He was like,
Yeah, he was
fan.
proper dedicated.
Yeah.
Super nice guy. But he got the tattoo and came to show it us, and it was literally the week before we were changing the name to Defiant, and I was like, oh, the timing.
Oh
on that.
no, Bobby.
But he was fine. He said he'd just get a Defiant one on the other leg.
It was, yeah, it's a nice,
nice memory of a time.
what
yeah.
was.
Yeah, we got plenty of WCPW memorabilia in particular in this office right now.
Jules says, I started with one tattoo, then had one a year since. I'm now at 11. That's a nice tradition, isn't it?
What they say about it getting addictive.
Yeah.
It really is.
Devon Dowling has quoted Size Matters, Andy Murray. And John Harrison says, I saw Hamlet's calves at Sweet Chin Disco. I almost asked for a photo with just his calves.
It's a TV show that is aged very poorly. But have you ever seen the episode of Entourage where Johnny Drama falls in love with a man's calves?
I had him pegged as an Entourage fan, but I wouldn't have had you pegged as an
Not
Entourage
anymore.
fan.
Not anymore.
I stand by it. I think it has aged like a fine wine. I love it. I rewatched it during the Pando, and I hope they make another film, if anything.
The film was dog. The film was rubbish.
Whenever anyone talks about calves, I always think, you got calf implants, bro?
Yeah.
Like that episode, yeah. Johnny Drama, what a legend.
Yes. It has aged like a fine wine if the fine line was a glass of milk. And the time period was 20 years, I think. It's become vinegar, is what I'm saying.
Yes. Good question here about Miro that I'll get to in just a second, but I want to give another shout out to Mr. Phoenix, who says, William, Philly, and Andy, I have a friend that's going through a hard time at the Mo. I know how the wrestling community can come together. If anyone can donate/share the link, it's on my X. It would mean the world. Thanks, guys. It's always nice how wrestling fans come together for that sort of
definitely
thing.
go check out his Twitter for that.
Yeah, sometimes Cody Rhodes shows up and just clears it. It's crazy. He loves it, man. He loves it.
Ooh, Like It Is tells me that In-Betweeners 3 is coming.
Oh my God, you're definitely an in-betweeners guy.
Yeah. Perfect timing. Like, I'm fairly certain that started when I was going to uni. Or
Have you had
maybe
as many
just before.
cameos as that guy yet?
Not quite, but I'm getting up there. We're 2/3 of this podcast. Are you going to be on Cameo eventually?
Nobody wants a cameo of me.
Oh, people do.
Well, that's
I
the
might put
glory of
myself
it.
on, but like £1 more expensive than MJF.
Yeah, I was
Just to see if I can get one.
I was
And then be
thinking,
like,
what if I just went on and was like, it's like, because, we're all the same price. It's me,
Yeah.
Andy, Hamlet, Miller, all
Yeah.
the same, like $25, I think it is.
I can't even remember.
Don't book it through the Apple app because they take a percentage. Book it from cameo.com.
Yeah, Apple takes like 30% or
ridiculous. I
something.
was
It's
like,
like, okay, sure.
But yes, I was contemplating being like $25, Simon Miller, $25, $25, Andy Murray, or for the price of all three, me.
You should have just gone $26.
Hey.
It's like a-
If people are willing to pay the price, it's a fair price.
Exactly.
yeah. If anyone wants a cameo from me, let me know, and I'll
Just
sign
pay
up to
me and
cameo.
I'll make sure it happens.
Yeah.
Tactical Penguin says, what's bigger, the surface area of Ham's head or calves?
That's mean.
Do you combining the calves
Yeah.
for his head?
Yeah.
That's,
I think
write that down. We'll measure that next
What
week.
size didn't matter for boys? What are we doing?
Might have been the size of your head in that video we were watching earlier.
That was small.
Tiny head Murray over there. Should have seen it.
That's weird because I cannot buy a hat that fits my giant bulbous cranium, so I don't
Back
know
in
what happened.
2018 or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Your head was
Weight
teeny
loss.
tiny.
Weight loss must have been. That's how it works.
Or Mark Lee Willis has suggested getting Salty on Cameo.
Oh, that'd make more money than me.
Yeah, he'd be allowed in this building as well, unlike the old one.
Imagine then you then get arrested for like diverting funds. Like, sir, this is not your money you're spending.
We should employ him as a guard dog around these parts, really, if anything.
Office dog. We've said for a while.
Yeah, a Hamlet wouldn't like that.
Definitely not get along with Salty.
Was it
Salty
Joe?
by name, salty by nature.
Was it Joe who was going to bring his dog in at one point?
Yeah.
It's a massive greyhound running around. That'd be awesome.
An Hamlet cowering in the corner.
No, my Hamlet likes greyhounds. He grew up with one. It's just other
What's wrong
dogs.
with other dogs? He's a weird guy.
I like dogs.
There's some history there that we just did not quite finding out about.
Maybe you found a dog that had bigger calves than him. That would have to be an absolute beast of a dog. Jesus.
Yeah.
You ever seen John Moxley's dog before? It's an absolute chonk. Legend.
Dynamite's kid's dog, probably, wasn't it? Anyway, the old Ducks says, and we were meant to talk about this earlier because it's hot news.
Have you met any wrestlers' dogs? Sorry, I just wanted to flex that I've met Sean Waltman's dog.
We were going to say, I nearly stood on it in Vegas. Beyond that, I don't think so.
Yeah.
The old Ducks, anyway, says that the thoughts on Sean Ross Sapp reporting that Miro has requested his release from AEW. Not a real surprise, that, is it?
Yeah. If I'm AEW, I would let him go. I don't see any value in holding on to people who don't want to be there. Like, it's
all you're doing
you're
is
not using them.
Yeah, all you're doing is building a contempt in a person that will. It's wrestling. It will eventually come out and make your company look bad.
Exactly. Exactly. And if someone's in a I don't want to be here mood, that can rub off onto other people as well. So I don't see any purpose in keeping him around. It sounds from the report that they can't really come up with an idea that Miro wants to do, and he has ideas that they don't want to do. So creatively, they're not on the same page. He doesn't want to be there. Let him go. I love Miro. I think that the Redeemer is a perfect wrestling character because he's scary and powerful and tough. He's a great monster, but he has a dodgy neck, which is the story, so anyone can beat him. He's not invincible. You don't have to worry too much about protecting him because in the end, endeavoring babyface can target the neck and get a believable victory. It's a perfect character. That run was great. Who the hell knows where he's been? Injuries, filming stuff. There's lots of Bulgaria. Yeah, and he's often on Twitter like shutting things down and stuff like that. And he's been quite a bit of a flirt on social media since his WWE days. He was always teasing things.
Yeah.
So I would say let him go. Let him do.
Back to the Fed?
Yeah, no hard feelings. Go to the Fed and bash into Bronson
Triple
Reed.
H and Miro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Big
Triple
boys.
H and Miro guy? I can't really...
I'm not sure.
I don't think there's ever been any news about whether he liked him or not.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
Interesting to see what, I think, like you say, I think you can do absolute wonders with him.
Yeah, he's great.
He's great, yeah.
Gunther?
Great.
Hello.
Gunther. Oh my God. Even if he went, hey, I'm going to go to Japan for a year. That'd be cool.
Get him in NXT, just round those edges off for a year and then
You know what I would do?
the main roster for you, boy.
A motivated Miro in this version of WWE would be
It'd be sick.
Imagine him at Chase U. That's
Can you imagine him doing these destruction feuds with Braun and Bronson? It'd be sick.
over
Miro
Femi.
versus Gunther.
Oba Femi. Look at this. It's so good.
Gunther, yeah.
So good. You know what? If I was New Japan Pro Wrestling right now, I would be like, how much money do we have in the bank? Okay, this is our new main event heel.
Yeah.
I would throw everything at him.
Boy, all on him. I agree.
Build around him because he rocks.
I'm annoyed that this has come out today, if I'm perfectly honest, because I saw this, and this, I mean, I know it's every day, but this coming Thursday, so 6 days' time, is Shoot Rusev Day.
Oh.
No way.
Because I have it in my diary for some reason.
Could you imagine if he releases on Rusev Day?
Oh my goodness.
be-
6 days time.
6 days' time.
So it's a Thursday. So he could debut in TNA on the anniversary. Yeah, why not? Adrian, is the former Aiden English, he's doing commentary there, isn't he?
Yeah. Heavily
you know,
involved.
Matthew Rewalt. Why not?
Very exciting. Exciting times that.
Yeah, whatever. Simon Miller tweeted this, but it's a good take. Whatever gets him back on TV is good.
Exactly.
So, he's a very funny man as well.
Yeah.
Very funny man. Especially, remember in Southpaw where he was doing, played a hillbilly. Okay. It was great.
Just a quick nod to another one of our favourites this week, the Outrunners. They're just the best, aren't they? We keep saying I'd strap them up.
Yeah.
And nothing against Ring of Honor, not Ring of Honor belts.
Nope.
AEW tag belts.
Yeah.
Why the hell not?
I
They're
love
massively
GYV.
over.
I think Ospreay and Fletcher might actually be the ones to dethrone the Young Bucks, if I'm honest. But if not, at least have a title match, right?
Yeah. Oh, why not? Why not? They're so over. They're so much fun. You know, in a lot of ways, at the moment, they're everything the Young Bucks aren't.
Yeah.
They are young.
Over.
They're very young. They're very over. They're like
Jokes.
they're, how do I say this without sounding catty? They're engaged. They're fired up. They're really invested in what they're doing. The Young Bucks on TV at the moment look like they cannot be arsed.
Yeah.
So, like, my top priority would be to get the belts off the Young Bucks anyway.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're going to present yourself as a company that pushes the youth, you got to push the youngest men alive.
Exactly. And if you're going to do it, why not right now where they're getting hot, the crowd is massively behind them. Like, this is the kind of thing that can wane if you wait too long and you don't sort of pull the trigger on it.
Yep.
Just jump on it straight away.
Yeah.
Why the hell not? It's completely different. It's fun.
Exactly. And we already know that the gimmick has a shelf life because they've been doing this for 2 years. It was like early 2023 when they showed up and did the youngest men alive promo.
Yeah.
Let's just strap them up now.
The Undertaker wanted us to watch one of his matches, Andy. He came back and I was absolutely livid. I said, Mark, which I found out later was his name. I said, Mark, it's a good thing you're walking around like a zombie because this town is officially dead. Like, this is not just a couple of catchphrases they hit every time and a silly entrance.
Yeah.
It's part of their matches. It's part of their entire...
Living the gimmick.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It's just
I love
so
those,
much
man.
fun.
And I want
So much fun.
Simon Miller to become a trio with them
Yeah.
on the Indies.
I desperately hope they're at WrestleCon or something at WrestleMania so we can get an interview with them.
Yeah. I'll fight Simon Miller to interview him, I'll be honest. I think they're fantastic.
I'm trying to find their quote about two cool dudes and I can't find it anywhere, but it was really funny as well.
I spent about half an hour the other day just to find the clip to show Josh of if you're anything like me, and I know I am.
Them and the...
And that one really, when he says, tell him Turban, he goes, you know what, that really hurt.
Yeah, I would really like to see a promo battle between the Butcher and the Blade and the Outrunners. Big Blade's a bit injured at the moment. That might have to wait. But Andy talking about crumbs.
Get well
awesome.
soon to him, yeah.
Yeah.
He
Bad shape.
rough. But
back fusion, something like that.
he's on the mend. That's the most important thing. Larry Robb in the chat. Larry, great to hear from you as
Legend.
always.
Back again.
He's back again in a big way.
You are
Legend
insane,
again.
Larry, but thank you so much.
Larry has even wasted money on a cameo from me this week, and Larry, I have
Even
not
more
forgotten. I
insane.
will be recording it after this podcast, in fact.
Well, he was talking about it literally before this, and he's got something planned.
I do indeed, Larry.
You get your money's worth.
I
with
don't
Big
understand
Willie.
how every week in wrestling is the MFing best week. I effing love wrestling, says Larry. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's never dull. This is. I can't remember a week where we come in and go, well,
Well,
let's
that's
talk
happened
about on
today.
WrestleCulture.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, it's great. It's great. This is the content era, and there's content flying all over the place.
Never-ending cycle.
The one thing...
keep going, sorry. I'll say.
sorry. The one thing it's missing is a little backstage fight or two.
Yeah.
You know,
hold
Yes.
For the psychos like us. Yeah, that'd be nice, but...
We did a Would You Rather podcast earlier, me and Sige, and one of the questions was about, would you rather like AEW stays as it is, a lot lesser than WWE, but niche and keeps going for 20 years, or goes back up to the heights of like where they were competing a la WCW for 2 years and implodes? And we both said, for the content game, massive implosion, please.
Yeah.
But generally, we prefer them to stick around.
Yeah. Good choice.
Sorry, I just saw a message regarding your, how are we saying this? Quintaro?
I don't know. Querétaro.
Do you not even know
Querétaro.
what you're wearing?
No. it's a Mexican football club.
Greg Loza says that's a track top from Querétaro in our Mexican league. Saludos.
Yeah, there you go. Nice one.
Amazing.
I just like
And
the
you
look of
just-
it. I like the look of it. And it was £7. So
It does look great.
Thank you.
It really suits you.
XL because I've put on a bit of beef.
Haven't we all?
Yes.
Let's be honest.
Well, watching
not
that.
You. Not you.
Yeah.
Never do.
Beefy as ever.
Phil's just been ripped
saw
since
him.
day one.
Me and
In the same weight since I was 18.
me and
How?
Anne-Louise, because me and Anne-Louise saw him gunning across the bridge the other day, just flying out of the way,
Literally,
pedestrians.
he was on a broomstick. It was wild.
Right, anyway, thank you for all your comments and your donations. Enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz. And this week's quiz is brought to you by Good McGoodington. If you want your name associated with the hashtag Bloody Good Quiz, all you need to do is leave us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts or leave us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Screenshot it.
We need the proof.
And email it to me, adam.wilbourn@whatculture.com. Good McGoodington writes.
Sounds like a negative guy.
Yeah, this pod was a huge factor in me getting back into wrestling 6 or 7 years ago and in finally making me feel comfortable being so earnest about such a stupid thing.
Hey.
I won't lie, the rise of bad faith Adam Wilbourn and the, despite pleas to the contrary, persistence of curve reviews does piss me off from time to time. At the end of the day, I would happily pay to listen to Hamlet and Sidgwick talk wrestling every single week.
He'd pay to listen to them, but not you.
Yeah, not me.
That's mean.
We'll release a special Patreon version of the podcast where I cut out. But anyway, this week's quiz, a week late, but it's fine, is all about SmackDown on Fox. The highs and lows of SmackDown on Fox. 10 questions, multiple choice.
Just before we begin, that's something to think about, all right?
All
right?
Hey, I took down a Dudley by last week. I'm not afraid of you.
Remember,
I've
guys,
got a knife, so.
this is just for fun.
Is it?
Maybe not. Question number 1.
Loser gets stabbed.
Gateshead.
If it's a draw, well, it's been nice.
Wilbourn gets stabbed.
Yeah. We steal his laptop.
And Goody McGood gets his way.
Question number 1. Nice, easy one. Start with.
Magic.
Nice, simple one. Who won the first match in the Thunderdome?
Ooh.
Oh, gosh.
Was it Big E, Sheamus, Sasha Banks, or The Fiend?
Oh, man, I have absolutely no idea. This is one of
I'll
those...
be honest, I didn't until I Googled this.
Yeah, this
Phil,
one...
why not? For some reason, when you said it, I was like, Bailey. So I'm going to go with Sasha Banks.
No, dear, that's wrong.
It's one of those questions where somebody who has a working brain could like go, oh, well, they got it in July, so the
Pamphlet.
first... Yeah, like...
Pamphlet could do
You know straight away. And the first match on that card was won by The Fiend, Adam.
No, dear, that's
Damn.
wrong.
Although he was one of the first people to appear in the ring, Vince was in there saying, welcome to the Thunderdome. Then The Fiend showed up. Then Braun showed up. Then showed up. Then The Fiend disappeared, and they beat up Braun, and then it was Big E versus Sheamus, and Big E won.
Oh.
Wow.
Good feud, that Big E Sheamus feud, actually.
Yeah.
But we move on.
Retribution, not so much.
Yes. Maybe more on them later.
Oh, God.
Question number 2. Which of these things is shorter than Kofi versus Brock? Is it me saying the alphabet backwards? Is it the fastest ever Premier League goal? Is it the first airplane flight? Or is it the world's longest fart?
You could... I think that we could probably rip a fart longer than 7 seconds right this moment.
Phil, what were the options again?
Me saying the alphabet backwards, fastest ever Premier League goal.
That
first.
one, the goal, football.
No, dear, that's wrong.
There's a guy who knows football.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking. I was going with what I know.
So you've ruled out fart. You've obviously ruled out goal. You've got me saying the alphabet backwards or the first ever airplane flight.
Too many syllables for you to do the alphabet backwards. It's going to be the worst flight of all time.
No, dear,
What?
that's wrong.
What?
It's me saying the
Okay.
alphabet backwards.
We're gonna prove that right now. Let's do it. I'm getting
See, I
my...
was worried this would happen.
I'm getting my... This is the thing.
No, this was going to happen.
Hey,
How
listen.
long's the match?
6 to 7 seconds. Because
Okay.
the fastest Premier League goal is 7.69 seconds. So
Okay.
just a little bit.
I've put a 7-second timer on my phone.
Okay.
Right? I'll go...
Hang on, let me stretch.
We'll do it on 1. We'll do 3, 2,
Okay.
and when I say 1, go. Okay. 3, 2,
I know exactly what he's going to
1.
ZYXWV, UTS, RQP, ONM, LKJ, IHT, FED, CBA.
What the... That was like 4 There's 2 seconds left. 5 seconds.
It's talent, isn't it?
And you started about half a second after I pressed the
Yes.
button. What? I would say do that on Cameo, but you've kind of given it away.
I thought you were literally just going to go alphabet backwards.
Oh, yeah. or just the family guy.
You suck, man.
Well,
Yeah,
Question three.
Well.
I probably missed a letter. I probably missed a letter in there. I don't know.
Mind blown.
Jesus Christ.
The talents of this man.
Hang, this is for you, pal.
Okay. Well, I've got a question that I know you'll like now, Andy, because question number 3 is, what is the name of the robot for Fox from WWE's draft? Is it Sparky? Is it Cletus? Is it Foxtimus Prime? Or is it Robo Joe?
Wow.
That's you, Robo Joe. Sparky's your mate. And Foxtimus Prime.
Everybody got a mate called Sparky.
Yeah.
Right.
Foxtimus Prime is something that you would make up.
Okay.
Andy, I'm going to say Cletus.
Yay!
What?
Correct answer.
Why is it called Cletus?
Hang on, wait a second. Let me...
Cletus the slack-jawed robot.
Here you go.
Oh, yes.
Incredible.
The official mascot for Fox Sports, Cletus the Robot.
At least
I was as surprised as you guys.
Raw have the robot. I thought it would have been like Smack Droid or something like that.
I love the
Okay.
robot. Check these matches out tonight. Remember, Cletus was buzzing about signing Natalia or whatever, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes!
With the 54th pick of the 15th round.
Okay, question number 4.
Yeah.
Oh, I said it was some of the highlights and lowlights of SmackDown on Fox. What dog food did Corbin and his mates dump on the big dog? Was it?
I think they got paid for this. WWE, like a dog food company,
Sponsorship.
sponsored them to pour their dog food over a wrestler.
Was it Barking Heads? Was it Triple H's Pedigree Chum? Was it Old Roy's Chicken Dinner? Or was it Win a Lot, more like Lose a Lot?
Phil, the chicken dinner.
Hey.
Because all the other ones are dumb.
Barking Heads is real.
That's
Barking
decent.
Heads is shoot real. I was like, oh, yeah, food day. I'll use it as a jumping off point. Oh, Barking Heads. I'll just write that one down. That's
Fair
easy.
enough.
Obviously.
I once saw a loser eats dog food match live and in the person for Aberdeen WrestleZone Wrestling. It was lost by a chap called Lord Mr. Malice. His character was originally Mr. Malice, but then he became a Lord. But instead of becoming Lord Malice, he went Lord Miss. I've got both. So poor guy.
Did he have a palace?
I'm not sure. Drew McIntyre was on that show.
Was he?
It was after he got released by
Are you sure Drew McIntyre was on the show?
Drew Galloway, was on that show, and he was facing an English gentleman called Andy Wilde in the main event. And for some reason, he cut like a 20-minute promo about William Wallace. It was so strange.
Okay.
Like the Battle of Bannockburn and all this. I was like, okay, Drew, let's wrestle now. God bless.
I do love that very specific indie wrestling thing where big deal wrestler comes in and is just like, whatever, I'm just going to talk for 20 minutes. Like,
Yeah.
Who's going to stop me?
Yeah, this isn't going anywhere anyway.
They do a fun thing every year. I don't know if they still do it, but they used to hold a big show, WrestleZone in Aberdeen, in the Beach Ballroom in Aberdeen, which is a lovely venue. And it was always like some of your faves from the Attitude Era were there. So like Hardcore Holly would turn up and Gangrel and all these guys. And it was awesome. I hope they still do that.
Yeah. I was watching a Wrestling with Regret video yesterday, all about shots TNA took at WWE. And shout out to Brian Zane. One of the later entries in that list is just every time someone would leave and jump to TNA, they'd be like, cool, 20-minute promo talking how bad it was over there. Aaron Rex.
Oh, that's the best one.
Yeah.
That's the best one because he starts off the promo about going, now
Brian
don't worry, for my former employee, this is not about you. So anyway, WWE was awful. Like,
Yeah. And then Ken Kennedy, Ken Anderson, just saying like, I want to say what Triple H really said about me. Right, can we just get to this promotion? Anyway,
Do your intro and
Yes.
get out.
go away.
question 5. Speaking of King Corbin and his issues with Roman Reigns, remember the hilarious time when he replaced Roman Reigns' entrance theme with dog yaps?
Yeah,
Yes.
that was pretty good.
Yeah. And someone came out in a dog costume.
Yeah, that was the best.
That was the
bit.
big dog.
That was wrestler Steven Azure, I have discovered. He was in the dog mascot costume when King Corbin was mocking Roman Reigns.
Good
and
times. Good
Dolph
times.
Ziggler and Bobby Roode were rolling about the ring laughing.
That's what wrestling is
And it
missing now.
sounded like when they were in the Thunderdome. Where's the reaction? But what else has Steven Azure had happen to him in WWE? Was he a member of for their invasion of SmackDown? Did he once get chinned by Becky Lynch on Raw as a member of security? Was he one of the puppeteers for the Firefly Funhouse? Or was he one of the Backlash zombies that ate the Miz?
Andy, Retribution.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Bums.
Puppeteers. Why not?
No, dear, that's wrong.
Costumes, puppets.
He got chinned. Got chinned by Becky Lynch. They did the whole,
That's
just
a good
doing our
claim.
job, and she just went, piss off.
Get lost, Steve.
That's a good extra claim to fame.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
I got punched by the man.
Got punched by the man and dressed in a big dog costume.
So what we're saying is Becky Lynch punches dogs.
Yeah. I think he's up part of the tag team, Even Stevens. So check them out in your town.
There's two guys called Stevens, the gag.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hope
Just so you know.
If you could get beaten up by anyone as an extra, what would you want to happen to you?
Probably, if anything.
What not thirsty things?
Oh, sorry.
Not Shane McMahon because he would punch you
Yeah,
for real.
yeah. He'd miss you, and you'd think, oh, well, that's not too bad. It doesn't
Yeah.
look great, though. And then he'd potato you.
Probably Kane because everyone says he's got a really soft touch.
Ah, yeah.
There you go.
I'll get pounced by Keith Lee.
Oh my
Fun,
goodness.
doesn't it?
I want to be one of the people that Lance Archer throws through the ceiling.
Oh, good shout. Right, question
Rhea
6.
Ripley.
Question 6. It's 1-1 still, I
have
believe.
no idea.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll go with.
Was that 6 questions, 2 correct answers. It's the worst quiz ever.
Question 6. One of the highlights of SmackDown on Fox, very brief though it was sad/broke Corbin. But what was this quote of his when he was at his lowest? He said, seriously, today is Friday and I woke up in Cleveland and I go, how much worse can it get? Then I go to breakfast and I can't even afford, is it a cup of coffee, a couple of eggs, a ticket for tonight's show, or a Cleveland steamer?
Phil, a cup of coffee. A cup of coffee.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Eggs, ticket, steamer.
You don't usually pay to steam. Eggs. Yay! Hey, all he wanted was 2 eggs. That's it.
That's all he wanted.
That's it.
They just ruined it. Oh, he's rich again now.
Yeah.
Apparently that was only meant to go for 2 weeks. He stretched it out for a few weeks at least, but so Vince. Do that for 2 weeks then, just move on.
Yeah.
What? The fans are really into it? Oh, fine, 4 weeks.
But Mass Corbin was fun.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
good.
Question 7, 2-1 to Andy.
Yes.
Who is the first NXT star out on the ramp, not including Triple H and his boys, when NXT invades SmackDown before Survivor Series? Is it Damian Priest, Adam Cole, Tommaso Ciampa, or Pat McAfee?
I just made a thumbnail with the image of them all in the ring. That doesn't help. I can rule one out, but I'm going to let Phil commit first.
Well, I don't know. In my head, when you first said it, I was thinking Adam Cole. But then when you said his name, I was like, maybe Tommaso Ciampa. So I'm going to go with Tommaso Ciampa.
No, dear, that's wrong.
So it's not, I don't think it's Adam Cole because
Yeah,
he
but they
wrestled
save him.
Brian. So what were the other two? Damian Priest?
Damian Priest or Pat McAfee?
Pat McAfee, why not?
No, dear,
Oh,
that's wrong.
Priest. He's out there ahead of Cole, and him and Cole are the first running down the ramp to Broad,
Yeah.
like Broad
Yeah.
and stuff, and then you get in there, it's like Keith Lee. Hang on, there's a button for this.
Oh my god.
That was such a good time for Keith Lee.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for that.
I know, man. He's had a rough time.
Right, still 2-1, but still all to play for. Question 8. What was Michael Cole's line in the brilliant angle where Jey Uso turns on Roman Reigns when he does the whole, you out, and I'm out too? Does he say, tu, Jay? Does he say, oos, oh no? Is it, hang on a second. Ha! Looks like Jey Uso just told Roman Reigns to acknowledge these nuts. Or is it Jay, baby? Ooh. I want to know
Fail.
when you're going to turn.
There we go.
It's the Caesar one, isn't it?
The first one.
Yeah.
Right.
I'll let you get the things out. I was going to say it
Thank
early,
you.
but
Yeah,
I didn't
don't
wanna
cut- don't
spoil
cut the
your
pop.
Nonsense.
That's interesting. I
Know you like your nonsense.
was saving this for in case the scores were massively uneven, but I feel bad now because someone could just take 4 points and destroy this quiz with this question. So I'm just going to ask you to...
Like your quizzes normally have loads of integrity.
Yes. So I'm just going to say, name any of the women who were involved. I don't want to talk about it any longer than we absolutely have to. Name any of the women who were involved in SmackDown karaoke.
Oh no! I just edited a list with this on it as well, and I
Phil.
can't even remember.
Naomi.
Yay!
That's the one I remember.
Lacey
Who are the
Evans.
others? Ooh, yeah.
Yay!
There you go.
I'll give you a big clue. Hang on.
Andy, Tamina.
He's the
There you
correct
go.
answer.
Alexa Bliss.
No,
Just
dear, that's
naming people.
wrong.
Yeah.
Nikki Cross.
No, dear,
Natalia.
that's wrong. No, dear, that's wrong.
Shayna Baszler.
No, dear,
I'll give
that's
you a clue.
wrong.
You'd probably more associate with this one with the other show. Mananara.
What was that? I don't know what that is. I don't come on this show enough to understand what that is.
She cut an infamous promo saying how she wasn't getting enough time on Ronda Rousey and had a little wobble when she said the show. Mananara.
Dana Brooke.
Yeah.
Remember that promo? I love WWE more than you. It was like, wow, okay, cool.
That has completely confused me with the scores. I don't know what the score is.
Depends how you're scoring it. It's
Well, it's
3 to Andy and 1 to me, or 1 to me because I got the first one.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
multiples of 4, so I get 12, I think.
Let's say it's all tied up, all to play for. In a final question. Do I still have the Dana button on the soundboard, says Matt Rains. I don't know, actually. I don't think so.
Dana. Can I do a random one? Just see what
What, we
happens.
press a button on here?
Yeah, let me do it.
Yeah, go on. Why did you miss?
Wait, is that a guy?
I said you're holding back. She said, shut up and dance with me.
It's a guy.
This woman is my destiny. She said, oh, shut up and dance with me. Oh, clap your arms.
Clap your arms!
I loved it when this came out, when he was on The Masked Singer or whatever it was.
Yeah.
It was so funny. Obviously, you know who it is. A wrestling website that I will not name wrote an article, and it was titled "Masked Singer Contestant Possibly Identified as Chris Jericho," with like a mystery thumbnail. I was like, "What are you doing?" You can Google it. You probably find it.
Devin tells me it is apparently 3-3, so it was all to play for. Genuine on this last question. So, SmackDown on Fox's romance between Mandy Rose and Otis was infamous.
So good.
But which of these isn't a comment on a compilation of their best moments? I want the one that's not an actual comment. Oh, imagine being under Mandy Rose's feet and having her look down at you with that smile. Okay, that's option one.
Definitely
Oh,
a comment.
whoa, what?
Definitely a comment.
I'll do that again.
Imagine being under
Don't do that again.
Under her feet, and she's
looking down at you and smiling.
Okay, that's your who? What's the
Imagine,
name of the
Andy.
person?
Just imagine.
Name and shame.
That's all he's asking. Just imagine.
I am me. I am me. That is all 3266.
Okay, yeah. There's no one like you. I am me. Is that a Twisted Sister reference?
Your second option is Otis and his tongue is magic. His tongue got him one of the most gorgeous women in the WWE.
Pretty lady.
Is it Otis is the man, tough as a machete, sweet as the foot of a diabetic grandma? Or is it
Tough as a machete. What does that mean?
Or is it oh, I'd bust my load just from getting a good whiff of her.
Oh no.
Trick question. They're all comments.
No, dear, that's wrong.
So the foot one.
Foot one,
Which one?
tongue one,
I
foot
don't
one,
know.
tongue one,
Foot one, tongue one, machete one.
machete
That's
one.
my answer.
You're going tough, the tough as a machete.
Tough as a machete.
No, dear, that's
Oh my
wrong.
god.
It's the busting a load from getting a whiff of her, apparently.
So you
That's
made
just
that up?
no, that was just from a
Oh,
different,
okay.
just
That
questionable
was just what you
comment section.
commented on a different video.
That's a really smart way of doing this, because if you came up with that, I would
I know.
probably
And that's what
resign.
I was waiting for one to be really obviously
Yeah.
Wilbourn. But
You see?
I present 2 videos with you every single day. I would not be able to sit next to you after that. Jesus.
Well, that means it's a draw, which means
Yay.
fantastically we have co-winner. Oh, that means I
Hey.
die.
you die.
Yeah, stab him up.
Well done to Andy and Phil, co-winners of this week's quiz.
Hey, the quiz one.
Let us know how you got on the quiz and just generally in life in the comments section or on X at WhatCultureWWE. Watch, they can follow all 3 of us. You can follow Phil Chambers at
Fill my chambers, and you can follow Andy at.
Andy H. Murray, the H stands for happiness.
Follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. Thank you, Matt Rains. It was from a Melina video. The 4th
Yep,
comments,
that makes
let's
sense.
just say there. And leave it at that. Move on rapidly. What Culture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcasts from, for daily wrestling podcasts. The SmackDown preview is available right now, and a new podcast that me and Sige did this afternoon, where I gave him some Would You Rather scenarios suggested by the lovely folk on X, and it was quite a lot of fun. Check that out. But for now, this has been WrestleCulture. My thanks to Andy Murray, to Phil Chambers. Thank you to everyone who's joined us, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Wrestling!
Bye, everybody. Thank you for joining us always.
What do I do here? Is it still on?
Yeah, keep
Okay.
waving. Keep waving.
All right.
Keep
Hello.
waving.
Have a
Bye-bye,
nice
everyone.
weekend.
Have a great weekend.
Don't-
Bye.